Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So, sister, there are many different sides to me, just as I'm sure there's many different sides to you. And I get judged a lot. People think I'm kind of just one way. I'm tough, I'm harsh, and I'm tense, I'm in your face, and that's very true, but I'm also incredibly sensitive. I did a podcast episode early on, maybe I'll reference this in the show notes for this episode, called You Will Experience High Highs and Low Lows. And that is very much a part of who I am. I feel stuff big. I feel the high highs and I feel the low lows. And no, I'm not bipolar. That is just how I am. That's how Karen is. And so what I've found, though, in the last probably 4 to 6 weeks, that the most prevalent part of who I am is intense, is aggressive. I believe that my talents and my gifts best lie in not only helping people see what they can't see, but being very intense about it. I feel that the world is very soft these days. I feel that there's a lot of excuses. There's a lot of reasons why people don't do things. For a lot of women, they shy back if they're an energy like me because it's not feminine. It's not okay. It's not. I've had people say to me in posts like, too, why do you got to swear so much? It's just not ladylike. It's not professional. But, you know, it's who I am. I don't do any of these things as shock value. This is who I truly am. And what I realized after speaking to my coach yesterday and feeling some low lows. Right now as I record this is December the 29th, I think it is today, right after the holidays. Holidays are tough for me. Being out of a routine is tough. Of course, I love spending time with my kids and my husband, but my husband and I are both producers and creators. So to kind of like slow down, and if you're not, if you're not someone who's like me, it's going to sound a little different. Some of you may judge me with this and go, oh, Karen can't stop working. She's a workaholic, and, that's cool. You can think whatever you think with that, but I just know for me that creating things, and that's writing, that's podcasting, that's coaching, that's learning, that creating more than learning, any of these things, producing things, making things, is who I am. And that is like air for me. And that's clearly who I am. But what I found over the last 4 to 6 weeks is I've gotten, I think just a little bit of this holiday fun kind of thing. This is the first Christmas that my husband's mom is not here. This is the first Christmas here in Victoria. We know a few people, but, nothing that's just kind of, it's 4 of us hanging out, which is fine. And we're just not close to family. And that's kind of a major reminder this time of the year because I see all your lovely pictures on Facebook. And I know we all put our best pictures up there, but, it's hard not to go to the place of comparison. It's hard not to go, well, fuck, I don't have these big family get-togethers. I'm just trying to get my kids to sit at the table, which didn't even happen for Christmas dinner. Kids running around, antsy, off of their routine, not seeing the little buddies at school and daycare. And so during this time, I found myself getting, for me, soft. I found myself being on application calls with women who are hiring to coach, that are applying to coach with me, and not being my same intensive self. And my coach, just like any great coach, this is what I do as a coach too, really helped me see something which I didn't really see for myself. And I felt myself just wanting to go to this softer place, which is just not me. And the results were definitely there because as I get on the phone with these women, there's all sorts of reasons and excuses. And I'm talking to my coach and I'm just like, dude, I'm attracting the wrong people. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And he's like, no, Karen, when you're on the phone with people, like, you create things with them. It's a creative process to be on the phone, to really listen and to know, the things to say and to find out really what's up with people, right? Because all of you get on the phone with me and apply and go, well, this is really good. And I'll say, well, why are we on the phone today? And, well, I'd like this, I like that. And some of you will get to it right away within 5 minutes and often are quite emotional about it. And I honor that fully. And some of you, it's like digging to find out, like, what is really going on. Because I can tell, I can feel it, I can sense it, that there's something else. I have a very sensitive bullshit meter. And so I've heard a lot of the rhetoric, a lot of the right things to say, the seminar language, what the books tell you. And I can feel when there's a disconnect. And you probably do too. You just maybe aren't as aware and just decide not to listen or not to watch something or not to sign up, or you just go, well, this isn't really for me. Just so you don't think anything about it, but subconsciously something does not line up for you. And so I sense that when I'm on the phone with women. And I often in the past would be really be intense about it, right? Because listen, I mean, at the very beginning, it's like, the permission is there of, can I be completely honest or real with you? There's one opportunity I have to possibly transform a woman's life who is taking the time to be on the phone with me for 60 minutes, and I don't take that fucking lightly. And I don't take what I do lightly at all. I know that I'm a fucking badass coach. I know that I was born to do this. I know that the women that put in the work, are present, commit time, energy, money, will get dramatic changes in their life. As have my clients over the last year that have done just simply those three things, made those three commitments of time, energy, and money. I know this. And it's time for Karen. I don't want to say just 2017 because we got 29, 30, we got 3 more days left in 2016 to record this, but it's time for me to get back to that place of real, intense power. Of getting back to that place of really being, if it's what's required, on the phone with someone who apply with me, of being really in your face, of really telling you the truth. I remember in a podcast episode, probably a year ago, and I'd hired my coach, who's still my coach, Satema. Amazing man. So thankful for him. So thankful. And incredible coach. And I remember him saying to me, he's like, look at Karen, you literally have to punch these women. Well, not literally. You have to punch these women in the face. And meaning that, you just got just hit them with the truth, man. They want it. And they most certainly need it. A lot of them. Because there's so many we have in our life that coddle us, right? Like, oh, it's okay, and it's all right. I know it's tough, and, when you're ready, and all this kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, my experience has been that people are fucking dying for someone to just be honest with them. They are just hit me with it, right? Hit me with the truth. Give it to me straight. I don't want any more fucking sugarcoating. I don't want any more political correct bullshit. I want the straight up, truth. Tell me what you see. And Satema said to me, you're going to have to really, again, punch these women in the face. So I recorded a podcast episode about that. And it was why I'm punching women in the face. And what was so interesting is probably for the next couple months, one of the first questions, if you do apply to coach with me for my one-on-one group coaching live events, is one of the first questions I ask you is, why are we on the phone today? And probably 80% of the women would say to me after I recorded that podcast episode, and I spoke to that, said, I want you to punch me in the face. Right? Tell me the truth. Please don't hold back. Be real, be honest, because everyone else in my life is not. Here's the thing too, sisters. We know deep down inside when we're full of shit, right? We know these things. We know these things. But yet there might be the lack of clarity. There might be the lack of, having the right tools, knowing how to put this together. There might be the lack of really understanding why, and having someone simply ask you questions, discover the truth that you actually know inside of yourself already. That is what I do. And I do it damn fucking good. And I've forgotten that over the last 4 to 6 weeks. I've forgotten that the intensity is who I am. I forgot that this is what really women, whether or not they say it or not, they will have an experience with me on that phone call. And the majority of women that come on are scared, as I was actually when I applied to coach with my coach September for the first time, November of 2015, getting on that phone call with him and just being like, I really don't even know what I said. I was scared, but there was something deep inside of me that said, Karen, take that fucking step. Go. And if I didn't, I don't think I'd actually be speaking in this podcast right now. I certainly wouldn't be doing the coaching at the level that I am right now. I certainly wouldn't be able to have, helped women at the level that I have really piggybacking off of my investment into my own coaching that I then teach back to my clients at an investment that's significantly less. I calculated this year, if I actually include travel, like with my coaching, when I invest into my coaching and travel, because I've been down to Laguna Beach, 4 times, I think, this year in 2016, that in just that alone, that I've probably invested probably close to $50K US. Yeah, I'd say about that, which is about 65,000 Canadian. That's a lot of bread. That's a significant investment. And I get the opportunity to be able to teach and share, with Satema's permission, what he's really teaching me. It's what everybody does, and then has their own flavor and flair to it. Their own language, their own methodology. But listen, this is based on principles of shit that works. And it's not going to be about doing up a vision board. And look, there's nothing wrong with manifesting stuff, but you got to put action behind that, sister. You don't need to need another book. You need to simply do the work to get clear on what you want and why. And to be willing to put the work in. See, there's some of you I've gotten on the phone with, and you go, yeah, I really want this. Yeah. But, I'm not ready yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to save everything up. Fuck that. I'm going to get intense with you right here. If you fucking tell me, if one more woman tells me again that it's money, I'm going to fucking go off. Because it ain't money, sister. It ain't. There are several times in your life, if you honestly look back and you realize that you didn't have the money to do something that you wanted or needed at the time, and you fucking found it. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me you don't have time. And don't tell me that you're not ready. That is bullshit. Now think. If you were a parent, even if you're not, just imagine. You know people that have parents. Do you think they had all the money to parent? Do you think they had all the time to put in the sleepless nights? Do you think they actually felt like they were ready? Because I can tell you right now, at the age of, when I became a mom for the first time at the age of 41, the first boy, we adopted both our boys because we tried for years to conceive and could not. And adoption is the beautiful gift that gave us our 2 incredible sons and made us parents. And I had babysat kids most of my teenage life and felt very comfortable around children. And we took Tyson home from the hospital after he was born the next day. Bassinet next to the bed. Lights go out. And I'm like, oh, turn on the lights. Is he breathing? Felt more prepared than probably a lot of you that had kids in your 20s. I'm like 41, right? I got a lot of life experience behind me. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And yet, you found a way. And yet, you found the money. And yet, you created the time. It's about time for Karen to come back full on from this day forward. There's no turning back. There's no more soft. And if I have the honor to be on the phone with you, sister, be prepared for an experience. Be prepared for your life to potentially change. This is an application. So no, I do not accept all of you because not all of you actually are ready. There's a little bit of a process leading up to that really helps me get with women on the phone that are, more closer to getting ready than just anybody gets to get on the phone with me. That's not the way it works at all. My time and your time is incredibly valuable, and I don't plan on wasting either. So we will get to it quickly. And if I do not feel within the first little part of that call that this is going anywhere and I can't serve you, call will be ended. Love you, sister, but you are not ready. Reasons and lies and excuses do not serve me, and they certainly do not serve you. And I'll be damned if I let anybody get in my presence that I don't deliver that message. I don't have to scream and yell at you. Sometimes. I don't have to swear at you, but sometimes I do. I simply have to help you see, sister, because right now there are so many of you that are walking around with your hands over your eyes and say, I can't fucking see. And yet, I'm looking at you and going, just take your fucking hands off your eyes. I don't know what you mean. I can't see. I'm not ready. I don't have... Take your fucking hands off your eyes. I just, I got to read another book. Sister, if it is ready for you to take the step, I am ready to speak to you. It's about time to get the heat going again here with women wanting more. To have the next live event be busting at the seams. To have you women lining up to be a part of this. And that's not from the place of ego. That's from the place of, I want to transform your life. I want to affect your children. Which means that I have to reach you, sister. So here is your more tip for today. Where in your life are you dumbing down who you are? It's going to be two parts to this, right? Where you're not being full of who you are. And here's the second piece of this. And I don't really do a pitch for coaching often on my podcast at all. Love if it'd be a very soft thing about my live event or the newsletter, but look at, this is it, sister. There's some of you that are, the reason that I do this, and I've been experiencing this, since I was a chiropractor. So over the last 15 years, what I have seen with women, who the majority of you I speak to are married and have children, is that you are slowly fucking dying inside because you feel you have to be the certain person who you are not. And yet inside of you, there's something that says more. There's something that says, I'm designed to do something different. There's something that says, I want to have it fucking all. And there's not the people in your life that support you with that. And you don't know how to make it all come together. And you are not clear on what you want. So you are walking around with your hands over your eyes saying, I can't fucking see. So if you want to learn how to see, sister, if you want to know how to make this happen, you want to learn how to create change in your life, you want to really uncover what you clearly want with your health, with your marriage, as a parent, in your business, with your purpose, and fully live this life you were given, which is a motherfucking gift, then you need to click on the link that I'm going to have in these show notes to apply to coach. Now, if you're listening on your phone, which is where I listen to podcasts, click on the little I button. If you're listening on your iPhone, I have no idea what it is on a Samsung or Galaxy, whatever the fucking one that blows up is. But you'll be able to have the show notes. You can click on the link there, or just go over to drkarenosborn.com and you'll see apply to coach with me, work with me. You're going to fill out a quick application, it's about 7 questions, and then we'll go from there. Next will be a phone call with me. So again, more tip number 1. Where are you not being fully who you are? Where are you being the softer, gentler version of you, when really who you are is something different? Where is that? And number 2, this is your time, sister. Some of you have been listening to me for a year. Some of you were following back from the Mom at 41 days, my previous podcast. And are waiting and are lurking in the shadows. Now is the time. It's one step, which is to begin that application process. So you can click on the link in the show notes or head over to drkarenosborn.com and you'll see the Coach With Me, Work With Me button. Fill out the application, click on that, and then go from there. So I will talk to you in the next episode, sister. A life of more is one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.